Hi, I'm Kay Poland from KYMS Radio. Take a look around you. It all looks pretty normal, doesn't it? Kids doing what they're supposed to be doing, growing up, being active, learning. But you know, they also endure a lot of stress, both them and the parents. There's an abundance of new technological communication devices that offer so many different choices. There is intense pressure to join into questionable peer behavior. And there's also temptations that lead away from one's faith and moral code, and in some instances can even jeopardize the safety of the child. Many parents are struggling to find answers to these new problems. That's why the Christian Community Coalition, in conjunction with its CCC Learning Center, is offering a one-day workshop called Surviving Adolescence, a guide for parents. This workshop will take place November 9th from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Kroc Center in Coeur d'Alene. The admission is a suggested donation of $15. Let me sum up the program. Oh, hey, Brian, come on over.
Okay.
Hi. Now, you're one of the presenters for the Surviving Adolescence workshop. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell people what they can learn from you on November 9th?
All right. Well, my name is Brian Burkhalter. I'm a counseling pastor at Lake City Community Church. And as a result of that, I end up working with and seeing a lot of families who are frankly struggling with raising their adolescents in 2013. And so what I've done is I've created a course. It's a faith-based course called Peer Pressure Fallout that I'll be teaching at the workshop. And in this class, we're going to talk about issues like promiscuity, substance abuse, bullying, dress, especially for girls.
Absolutely.
And other issues. But the focus of the class is to help parents. What we'll talk about is how can parents help their kids through this time of their life? How can they cope through this time? And how can they apply some best practices for helping their kids through what can be, kind of a tough time of life?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Brian. I look forward to hearing it.
Okay, see ya.
Oh, hey, Keith.
Hey, Kate, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
Now, you too are one of the presenters for the Surviving Adolescent workshop on November 9th.
That's right.
If you could introduce yourself and tell people what they're going to learn from you, that would be great.
Sure. I'm Keith Orchard, and I'm a social worker and the regional trainer for child welfare. And during this workshop, we're going to talk about communication. Because have you ever noticed that sometimes teenagers are a little hard to talk to?
Ooh, just a little.
Just a little sometimes. But we also notice that some families, some parents do a pretty good job of talking to the teenagers, and they have a really good relationship. And other families really struggle with that. And it turns out that there are some very specific things that some parents do that make communication with their teen a little bit easier. And then there are some things that some parents do that make it much, much harder and really put some barriers up. So we're going to talk about what are those things that you can do to talk to your teen better and have your teen talk to you, and some of those things you'd want to avoid.
Excellent. We look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
All right.
You'll hear from these two gentlemen directly on November 9th, but that's not all. Jamie Birch, CEO of Jeb Communications in Coeur d'Alene, will be digging into the over-the-top behaviors resulting from what we call digital overload. You know what they are: gaming addiction, social media, texting, pornography, and so much more. He'll offer ways for parents to maintain control of these issues within the family. Also, Dan Pinkerton, the CEO of Pinkerton Retirement Specialists, will be talking about the one thing that can trump everything else a parent can do: building faith and character. Dan has spent the last 20 years teaching and mentoring people on these issues. Well, that's a quick snapshot of our November 9th workshop. It will help improve communication with your family and improve family bonding as well. For that suggested donation of $15, not only will you hear these important lectures, you'll also get a program workbook, a mid-morning snack, and a great lunch. Pretty good, huh? So how do you register? Well, that's pretty easy too. Just go to the Christian Community Coalition website at www.kootenaysccc.com, or just look up the Christian Community Coalition on your favorite search engine. And remember the date, November 9th at the Kroc Center in Coeur d'Alene. It'll run from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. for that suggested donation of $15. If you have any questions, please feel free to give the Christian Community Coalition a call at 208-699-8900. Again, that's 208-699-8900. We'll see you there.